meeting. Today's March 17th. Call our meeting to order. I've asked County Attorney Bennett to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, Hannah, do we have anyone online? One online? Good morning. We have Manager Welker on the phone with us as well. Can we get a motion to approve our minutes of our regular meeting and work session held on March 3rd?
So moved.
I'll second that.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Chairman, we've all had the information available to review and the handwritten warrants and demands on the county, and I've moved that we approve those.
And I'll second that.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And Chairman Mack, I would like to make a motion that we amend the agenda to allow Sherry Elkins to present the approval of the Graham County Proclamation Week of the Young Child, to move that from near the end of the agenda to our next agenda item, to allow her to continue on with her busy day.
Okay.
That's a motion.
Yeah. And I'll second that.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm looking at notes.
Thank you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, we'll now turn the time over to Miss Elkins from First Thing First.
Thank you for having me.
Good morning.
My name is Sherry Elkins, and I'm the Regional Director for First Things First for the Graham-Greeley region. And First Things First is Arizona's early childhood agency. So we're throughout the state, and I oversee Graham and Greeley counties. And I'm here hoping that you'll join me in recognizing the importance of early childhood by declaring April 5th through the 11th as Week of the Young Child here in Graham County. High quality early childhood experiences lay the foundation for lifelong success, benefiting not only children and families, but also the broader community through improved educational outcomes and economic growth. This proclamation will help raise awareness about the critical role that early learning plays in strengthening our community and shaping our young children's lives. We're fortunate enough to have Donna McGoy and Dustin Welker as volunteers on our council, and we appreciate them very much and the time they give to First Things First and the young children in our region. I also have some children's books for each of you with a challenge to read it to a young child. And if possible, we could have you read the proclamation and hopefully sign it, and maybe we can get a picture.
Great.
Mr. Chairman, do we need to approve the proclamation before we read it?
Sure. Can I get a motion?
Make a motion to approve the proclamation of the Week of the Young Child for 2025.
And I'm really pleased to be able to second it.
Thank you.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you, and we appreciate what you do.
You want to read it?
Yeah. I'm gonna
Okay,
read
great,
it.
great. Thank you.
But thank you. We
Thank
appreciate you and the service you provide for the children in our community. This is the Graham County Proclamation Week of the Young Child 2025. Whereas all of Arizona's children deserve access to quality early care and education environments, and whereas quality child care programs build children's lifelong learning skills during the critical years from birth to age 5, and whereas ECC teachers and child care providers are the essential workforce that helps Arizona parents get to work or school, and whereas funding quality child care is a smart investment that improves family well-being, strengthens communities, and grows our state's prosperity. And whereas First Things First, Arizona Association for the Education of Young Children, Southern Arizona Association for the Education of Young Children, and other community organizations in conjunction with the National Association for the Education of Young Children are celebrating the 54th anniversary of the Week of the Young Child. And whereas these organizations are working to improve equitable early childhood opportunities that provide a strong start for children in the Graham-Greenlee region. And whereas public policies that support ECC for Arizona's youngest learners help our families, communities, and economy thrive. Now, therefore, we, the Board of Supervisors of Graham County, do hereby proclaim April 5th through the 11th, 2025, as the Week of the Young Child in the Graham-Greenlee region, and encourage all citizens to support and invest in early care and education in our community.
Thank you very much.
Chair, I just want to say thank you very much. I've kind of got to know you through a different committee and stuff, but I really have seen firsthand how hard you work and how much we appreciate your efforts and what you do for this valley and our kids. So thank you very, very much.
Take a picture.
We want to take a picture.
You're welcome.
Okay, we'll now proceed with our meeting and turn the time over to our treasurer, Ms. Cindy Orr.
It's a tough act to follow, such a feel-good opportunity. But let's talk about getting some revenue before we talk about you getting to spend money for everybody else. Today we have 4 offers for over-the-counter tax deeds. These offers include all the required minimums to meet the taxes, interest, and fees that we've incurred.
Great. Thank you.
Do we need to do these separate or should be all together, huh?
In the absence, I believe we've done them before all together since they're listed together.
We can do them
under one
together?
agenda item.
Okay. Can I make a motion to approve the over-the-counter tax deeds for parcel 109-59034, 109-59-086, 109-59-087, and 109-59088?
Thank you, and I'm pleased to second your motion, Supervisor.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank
We
you for your
appreciate
work.
Thank you. It's like, I was counting it up, it's around $6,000 or $7,000. Anyway, it's a substantial amount of money. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We will now turn the time over to Jessica Gurna with the Justice of the Peace.
Good morning.
Morning.
We're just here seeking approval for pro tem judges for our Justice of the Peace Court.
Okay.
We've given 2 contracts to be approved.
I don't have any questions. Do you, Paul?
No, and Judge Palmer does a wonderful job of recruiting, finding people who will step in and do this work in an emergency or just a planned absence. So thank you very much. And this is a formality in many ways, but I'd move that we go ahead and approve an agreement with Karen Smith for JP for pro tem services.
And I will second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And then I'll finish up with a motion to approve the agreement with Mary Aiden. Is that the correct pronunciation? Mary Aiden for JP Pro Tem Services.
I'll also second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion passes.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Jessica. All right, we'll now turn the time over to Trey Andrews from the fairgrounds.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
I'm coming to ask for some unbudgeted capital to make a purchase for that. And it's gonna be for 2 portable mounds, the big old fiberglass ones, so we're not building them. I originally had budgeted in non-capital, and so I would like to move that money from 203-00-4144 to 203-00-4531 to then make those purchases.
Questions?
Just a quick one for you, and that is, we're just basically shuffling money from one account to the other, but this is money that you have available and not general funds, is that correct?
Yeah, so essentially I budgeted for them not to be over $2,500 each, but now since that they're going to be considered capital, so they have to be purchased from the capital fund.
Okay.
That should be very much more convenient for you and easier to get them. It's an expensive purchase, but it's needed purchase. It'll help you in the long run to be more efficient and quick and make things better. So I'd make a motion to approve the purchase of unbudgeted capital for 2 Little League mounds.
And I'll go ahead and second the motion, although I would admit that giving any pitcher an advantage, I was hit with so many balls as a Little League kid that I kind of hate to give a pitcher any kind of an advantage over a batter, but I'll go ahead and second that motion.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.
All right. Now hear from Brian Douglas with the Health Department.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
We're seeking purchase approval of 2 unbudgeted capital items for 2 vaccine refrigerators. We have several COVID-19 grants that are expiring the end of this fiscal year in June. And one of these grants that will be expiring allows the purchase of vaccine refrigerators and freezers. And historically, our vaccine refrigerators work for about 6 to 8 years before breaking. And our current refrigerators, one's 5 years old and one's 6 years old. And although these refrigerators won't be used immediately, they will be stored until that they are needed. So we're seeking approval for purchasing those 2 items.
I think it's a wise decision to be on top of that, and it benefits us to spend this money in a way that it's approved by that program. So I certainly.
The temperature window is between 36 and 46 degrees, and we do have an alarm that sends emails, text messages, and so on if it gets above or below that designated temperature. And we also have data loggers that take readings of the temperature every 15 minutes.
Very good. Sounds like everything's set then. I'd go ahead and second the motion.
I didn't make a motion.
Oh, I thought you had.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of unbudgeted capital for 2 vaccine refrigerators.
Thank you. I'm pleased to second your motion now.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion
Thanks, Brian.
passes. Thank you, Brian. All right. We're now going to turn the time over to County Manager Dustin Welker.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. This next item is a request for approval of an inmate work contract 25-013-030. This is an extension of our existing contract. Our existing contract was initially for a 5-year term, and it has the ability to extend for an additional 5 years. I will note we worked for the last several weeks with the Department of Administration to try to increase what we're paying inmates. We've, as you well know, have struggled getting enough inmates onto our crews. Back 5 years ago, we would have anywhere from 10 to 15 inmates. Right now, we're averaging around 3. So we're hoping by paying them a little more, they'd be a little more enthused or motivated to come out. We asked if we could pay them more. The statute appears to let us pay them up to $1.50 an hour. Right now, they're only paid 50 cents an hour. And from what we learned, that's pretty consistent statewide. And we were denied our request to pay them more. But we plan to work with our local office more in the future to try to maybe amend that. And we've been promised by the local Safford office that they'll get us more inmates. So that work is still in progress. I appreciate the board for being involved in that and helping with that, and we'll continue to try to get more inmates on our parks crew. And this contract also keeps a foot in the door if we want to get inmates for our highway crew in the future again too. But as you know, we were only getting one, sometimes none out there. It just really wasn't worth it for that few of inmates. So we're hoping that will improve in the next few months, but in the meantime, we do need to approve this extension, and then we can possibly work on an amendment going forward.
Great, thank you.
And I think it's a great benefit to the county to have these inmates come out and work. And I know we've all been working hard to get more inmates, so we need to go ahead, in my opinion, to approve this contract with the DOC.
I'm in complete agreement. I'll go ahead and second your motion, Supervisor Howard.
I didn't motion. Do it this time.
Oh, okay. Well, your approval, I thought it was, it sounded like a motion.
Okay,
but,
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the inmate work contract number 25-013-30 for 5 years, additional years with AODC.
Thank you.
ADOC.
Thank you. And I'll wake up a little better, and I'll second your motion.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion passes, thank you. Thank you, Dustin. We'll now take this opportunity for members of the board to present a brief summary of the current events and things they've been doing the last couple of weeks. We'll start with Supervisor Howard.
I'm gonna keep it real brief. I don't have nothing this week to report on other than my regular duties, so I'll pass it on.
Supervisor David.
Thank you. On Tuesday, March 4th, returned back from National Association of Counties Conference in DC, attended a Gila Valley Veteran Services Board meeting. They are going to have a resource fair coming up for veterans. And then later in the week, there was a Department of Liquor License and Control hearing, and then our Friday Legislative Policy Committee meetings that we, a webinar that we collectively listened into and approved or disapproved, supported or rejected the different proposals. Following week, Safford City Council meeting on Monday, Senior Citizens Advisory Council meeting on Wednesday, and then there was a local committee to end homelessness meeting. They're working on funding and also a youth. It was very timely, trying to get a youth representative to represent the homeless or people who don't have sufficient housing among our school students. And then following day, we all met and had a department head meeting, as well as a fairly long work session that both you, Chairman, and Supervisor Howard were in attendance with, and then to end the week, we met again for the Legislative Policy Committee meeting, and then followed by I went to a planning meeting for Lions Club 5K and 10K. That's my report.
Great. Thank you both. I don't have a lot to add to that. I did attend the the hearing for the Circle K at the Pima Council meeting. That was very well attended, a lot of people in opposition and a lot of people there for it. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot to add. Do we have any calls to the public? Okay. We'll now close our regular meeting and go into executive session to discuss a settlement offer and potentially take action regarding Strong Communities Foundation of Arizona, Inc.
Make a motion to go into executive session.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.
To those who are here from the public, we don't know how long the executive session will last. You're welcome to wait for us, but once the executive session's done, then we'll come in, and if we as we discuss items there, we'll make some kind of, we may or may not make a decision back when we open the meeting up. So thank you for attending. You're welcome to stay, but we don't know how long we'll be in there. So
right. Thank everybody for your patience while we were in executive session. We will now close our executive session and go back into our regular meeting. And can I get a motion for our executive session?
Make a motion to close our executive session?
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
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 Make a
Motion passes.
Make a motion to return to our regular session?
Make a motion to return to our executive session.
Regular session.
Regular session.
Regular session.
Yep, and I'll second that. So we're back in session.
Yeah, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
And
Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, the agenda item indicates that that there was a discussion about a settlement offer and action regarding the Strong Communities Foundation of Arizona versus the Director Heap from Maricopa County. And I would move that we, along with the other, in concert with the other counties in Arizona, go ahead and move to settle and accept the offer of the settlement as presented to us.
And I will second that.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion passes. Thank you, and hope you guys all have a great week. Our meeting is adjourned.